thank you for joining Citrin Cooperman's COVID-19 Transition Playbook video series. During this series, we'll be interviewing different franchisors on their experiences in dealing with the current pandemic. My name is Iannuzzi. I am co-chair of Citrin Cooperman's franchise accounting and consulting practice. Today, I am very excited to be video conferencing in Stacey Kimmins, president of FunBus Franchising. Stacey, welcome, and thank you so much for participating today.
Thank you for having me, Mike.
It's nice to have you. So before we get into a lot of the questions on what's going on in the economy today, in the world today with your business, please give us a little history about yourself, the business, how you got into it, and just the overall sense of what the franchisees do on a daily basis.
Great. So as you may already know, FunBus is a mobile children's fitness franchise. We started in the early 2000s. Our founder was actually the director of a daycare, and very creative woman, and she recognized the need to be able to provide additional level of physical fitness to her children within her daycare. So she refurbished a retired bus into the FunBus, removed the seats and padded the interior and filled up the 35 feet of empty space with mini fitness equipment. And pretty shortly, she was driving all over New Jersey, getting lots of calls from preschools who were looking to add FunBus as a weekly fitness enrichment program to their curriculum, as well as lots of calls from parents who are looking to add the big green bus as the entertainment for the children at their birthday parties, and getting calls about special events, maybe fundraising events and church events and grand openings for the bus to be the entertainment for the children. So she quickly realized that the uniqueness was matching a need, and then she added a second bus, and shortly after that she decided to franchise the business. She grew nicely and conservatively over the next couple of years with really single bus owner operators. And only recently we started expanding that model just within the last couple of years when I came aboard, helping our franchisees to add additional buses for growth. And now just a few short years later, we have owners with 1 bus, 2 buses, 3 buses, 4 buses, 5 buses, and 6 buses.
Very nice.
Choose how they want to run it. If they want to run it more of an owner-operator style or more of a manager semi-absentee model.
Got it. And just to clarify, these are the old yellow school buses that you saw every day driving kids to school in the morning that you've retrofitted into this model.
Correct. Full-size school buses with no seats.
Very cool. So being really a mobile fitness and entertainment concept focused on, younger children, going to people's houses and stuff like that, what has been going on, since mid-March when the pandemic struck? Have the franchisees been able to operate at all? And now being really May 27th, what are you starting to hear with the states opening up, and what's the general sense of, of the system as a whole?
Well, like most children's businesses, we were on hold for a bit, really waiting for guidance from our preschools. Our preschools are a large majority of our revenue, just to hear what they were going to require of us and how we will be spacing children on our buses. We've always worked with daycare, so proper sanitizing and cleaning is just part of our DNA. So we're prepared. We're prepared to be safe and to provide what we need to support our customers and our daycares. We've stayed in communication with the directors of our preschools and our parents, just to be there for them. We offered, Facebook and Zoom get together, and we just wanted to be a resource through this whole time, just to keep kids healthy and active. But now, things are starting to open up, and what we've enjoyed is hearing from our daycare owners and our parents who are saying they just can't wait to have us back, which is just awesome. I think there's going to be, pent up demand, as people have been saying, and we're using a lot. But we've always been flexible, creative, and clean. So we're confident that as things open up, which we're feeling is pretty soon, that the schools will have us back out. We're taking kids from the same classes that they're with all, with the same students that they're with all of the time. We are now sanitizing between classes. We can open all of our windows. So we really think that it's, we're a limited exposure, and again, pent up demand, we're ready.
So during that time, system-wide sales basically went to zero at that point?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, and so now you're starting to see people starting to call, get ready to, as the weather heats up in certain parts of the country, starting to get back into it, and people looking for these types of events to, have their kids being entertained, and as schools started to open up, people want this bus back in front of the schools. That's what you're hearing?
That's what we're hearing.
So what have you been doing with the franchisees at this time? I've been seeing a bunch of your videos in my email and on LinkedIn, different franchisees doing different things. If you could share how you've been keeping them engaged, have they been doing anything for their existing customers over the internet? What's been that sense, and how did you roll that out?
Yeah, so we've switched to doing some online classes and some Zoom get-togethers. We also did some recorded fitness sessions on our buses and even in some of our franchisees' basements, just to share with our parents so that they can keep their kids active while at home. We didn't feel as though we can charge for these types of things. I think there's a lot of free things out there, and that's really what we're looking to do. We're really just keeping them engaged and wanting to stay in touch with the parents. I think it's a challenging time when their kids are sitting at home with them and they're working from home. So we provide them with some opportunity, maybe a 20-minute fitness recorded session with their favorite fun bus instructor to allow them to stay healthy and active, or even to maybe celebrate a birthday party. We just did some weekend birthday parties this past weekend where the parents ordered a fun bus cake and our friends provided them a Zoom birthday party right in their living room.
Yeah, I actually just saw that the other day. So how did that work, and how many kids were involved? How did that all get set up?
We still kept it limited to the numbers of children because we wanted our instructors to be able to individually interact with the kids and really make the birthday child feel special.
Okay.
His neighborhood friends were able to get together on a Zoom, and our franchisee and her daughter were able to get onto the fun bus and provide an entertaining yet fitness focused, about 20 minutes, a half hour birthday party. Everybody sang to the birthday boy, keep us engaged.
So you brought the bus so the bus actually went out to the house?
No, our franchisees went onto their bus.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, cool. Zoomed into
Very
them.
Good. Very good. All right, so now on, staying with the business and what's been going on right now, there's been a number of different things that the SBA has put out there, and the PPP loans, the disaster recovery loans, all those things. So you, number one, as the franchisor, what did you have to do? And also, obviously, on the franchisee side, what have you been seeing that they've been doing, out there? Has anybody utilized the PPP loans or anything like that?
So most of our franchisees furloughed their employees, took advantage of, unemployment insurance. Most of our 99% of our employees are part-time employees. So some of our franchisees kept some of their employees on part-time to help sanitize the buses, to record some fitness sessions, to do some maintenance and repairs, to do some marketing. From a franchise perspective, we reduced the insurance for all of our franchisees, lowering their fixed costs on their buses while they're parked. We negotiated with our marketing and tech vendors to be sure that our costs were bare minimum while still keeping up our SEO and our advertising momentum. From a franchisor perspective, we waived royalties for a period of time with a promise from our franchisees to knock it out of the park when this whole thing reopened.
Right.
We did have several of our franchisees take PPP loans, as well as the EIDL grants and other local grants, actually. And we continued as a member of the IFA to provide the most up-to-date information, as we're still doing daily, because it seems to be changing constantly, on PPP payback, and forgiveness of the loans, on funding opportunities, assisting them, really making the best choices for them. And of course, all of the resources that Citrin Cooperman provided to us.
Thank you.
To date. And we just continue to share as much as we can with the franchisees.
So, speaking of all those things that you're talking about, normally the franchisor is there to provide guidance, support on the business, on the brand, on operations. So when all this kind of took place, can you share a little bit what that was like in bringing the franchisees together? We're all learning this, everybody at the same time, but all these new bills were passing, nobody knew what they meant, and I'm sure everybody was calling you looking for guidance, and now you had to sit there and learn all these things as well. So can you share a little bit how that took place, how you did it, and how you brought everybody, together?
Yeah. So we started first with a focus on positivity. That's our culture. That's who we are. That's who joins our franchise system. So we said, we're going to keep this upbeat. We're going to stay positive. We got together on a Zoom cocktail hour. We cheers to each other with a glass of wine in our hands. We cried a little bit, we complained a little bit, and then we kind of sucked it up and said, okay, we need a plan. We need a 3-phase plan. In the beginning, it was going to be, to reduce expenses, And as we started leveling off, we started planning for safe reopening and what that's going to look like going forward. And then, phase 3, which is coming up soon, which is pivot and knock it out of the park.
So, and those, like you said, were all on Zoom meetings, cocktail party type things, just to keep everybody in front, keep the brand strong, and keep people excited about what the future would hold. So you mentioned some things about the disinfecting and some of the procedures you were putting in place. So can you share what some of those things are, and what opportunities you're looking to promote? You did mention earlier that cleaning's always been a big part since you're dealing with kids, but I'd like to hear some of the other things you were telling me about earlier on how you're adding stuff to the bus and how you're going to put that out to the public.
Yeah, sure. We actually had to develop a whole new preferred vendor resource page for our franchisees because normally we don't all have access to PPE and these sort of things. So we developed contracts with some new preferred vendors to set up access for our franchisees for resources like PPP, like hand sanitizer. We actually developed a franchise-wide contract with mobile cleaning company who comes out to our buses, and they represent 99% of the population across the country, so that we have access to every single one of our franchisees, and they come out and sanitize our buses prior to rolling. We have access to new UV sanitizers on the bus. We're just learning about and seeing if that's going to work. The nice thing about our buses, besides the fact that all the windows open, is that they are only 400 square feet big, so sanitizing is not that challenging. And again, it's part of our DNA. It's what we do anyway. We do it anyway. So these things weren't overly complicated to us, but we certainly had to, work and reach out to new vendors to be sure that they were going to be able to provide us what we needed timely when we're ready to.
Sure. And so you, as the franchisor, were doing a lot of that legwork and research behind the scenes to put that together.
Absolutely.
So how did you, so once you started gathering that, where did all that information go? Is it in a manual that you put together? Is it up on the franchisees' websites? How did that get shared back out to everybody?
Yes, and yes, and yes.
Okay.
We've done, like you said, Zoom meetings. We've done Zoom cocktail hours. We've had group calls. We had task force group calls. We've done emails. We've done webinars. We've done constant contact newsletters. We've got an online training portal that's accessible through mobile on an app. We've provided, oh my goodness, every form of communication possible.
Right.
But honestly, a lot of it is just individual one-on-one phone calls with our franchisees.
Sure.
We're a family business. We know each other well. We celebrate, birthdays and baby births and that sort of thing. We text back and forth. We all know each other really well. It's just the nature of our franchise system and really the size of our franchise system. So, we just really talked. We texted, we called one-on-one. We shared as much as we can in every way possible, but mostly it's just talking and texting.
And communication is the key. So you mentioned the brand earlier, and everybody who knows the franchise business knows franchising is all about the brand and the power that it has when everybody is collectively working towards the same goal. So can you share what you're seeing with the brand going forward, what things you're looking to do in terms of marketing and advertising and really, pushing the Fun Bus name and continuing to get it out there, for the future and to add value to the franchisees?
I think we're, like everybody, we're looking to pivot for a temporary period of time, but we're not looking to change what we do or who we are. So hopefully that's answering your question, but we're continuing on the path of marketing and SEO and being sure that we're active in our customers' minds, but we don't necessarily want to change too far away from what our core is, because what our core is has always been exactly what our parents are looking for. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, I was curious to hear, what you're seeing out there, with the brand, like you mentioned. Now, if we can switch focus for a minute on the development side, there's a lot of virtual franchise expos that are going on. I saw you're registered for some of them. There's another one coming up this week, I believe, on Thursday, Friday, Saturday of May. Are you participating in those? And what are you hearing in terms of development and people looking to get into new businesses?
Yeah, it's a great time. I think we all know everybody's on the internet a little bit more, and they're at home exploring a little bit more. Perhaps they're furloughed from their jobs, so they see the potential to finally take that leap and go into business for self. So we're trying to be there and around as much as possible to let them know that our business, no matter what, is a wonderful family, flexible business and a great opportunity to add, to your repertoire of businesses, or add a complementary business, or just do it full time, husband and wife team, that sort of thing. So we have participated in virtual franchise festivals. A couple weeks ago, we did the virtual franchise festival. This week, we will be at the IFE, which is typically in the Jacob Javits Center, but
Yep.
This year it's online.
Yep.
We also did our own broker virtual discovery day, which was really fun to get a bunch of the brokers together and just chat about who we are, and have another level of people out there talking about us and learning about what we've been doing lately. So the exposure's been great. I think just like the pent up demand for our franchisees, there's going to be a pent up demand for people to use this as an opportunity to change their path in life and look for new opportunities. So we're excited to be there and be ready.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, traditionally in normal economic downturns, franchising sees a uptick after. I mean, obviously this is something unique to everybody, so we'll see how that goes. Can you share a little bit on how the virtual discovery day went? Like, did you show videos of the bus? Like, how does, because you need to feel and see the bus and walk through it and experience it. So how'd you set that all up?
Well, we've got some videos of our program as part of our marketing materials already. So we were able to use technology, just like we're doing here now, and share some really fun videos with some of the brokers so they can feel it and see it. We had, a couple team members sharing photos, videos, content of what we're doing to support our franchisees. And it really is just a conversational piece. Definitely not the same thing as in person, but I think that's okay. We've all kind of accepted the new norm of what we're doing here. So it went wonderfully. We were able to share a lot of content via video and Zoom pictures just like this, and give people a sense of what it is. And, and then, a lot of people will go onto our website, just like every other franchise, and do a ton of research beforehand anyway. So I don't think that the visual piece was missing too much. It was a good opportunity.
Got it. So you're going to be looking to do more of those in the future, maybe quarterly or something, as people have interest in getting into fun busing.
100%.
Very nice, very nice. So you touched on this a little bit earlier, customer confidence and going forward. So what are you hearing out there? What are you seeing? Do you think, after a 6-month period, the business needs to change, or are you going to be just rolling in all these new procedures and just make them part of the daily routine of a fun bus franchisee?
Yeah, I think we're just going to roll out new procedures and, shift as we need to, but we really feel as though consumer confidence is on the rise as it is. It's definitely getting better. We've developed standard language of communication for our franchisees to share with our parents and our preschools, including overcoming objections, just to be sure that we're all speaking the same language and sharing common communication with our schools. And, we listen for feedback, we take the feedback, and the feedback is nothing but positive and ready for us to return. So that feels really good.
Got it. So, these next few months as the states open up, I mean, you're ready to go, ready to put people back in business and ready to get some of these parties and the entertainment, going again for the kids.
We're ready, we're clean, we're healthy, and we're confident.
Very nice, very nice. So before we wrap this up here, just one final question, any bits of advice you could offer for some of the emerging franchisors or other franchisors that are obviously experiencing the same thing that you did, that went from, operating to 0 system-wide sales to now getting ready to, take it to the next step?
I think that we need to use our minds and use our hearts. This is an emotional time. It's been a very emotional time. Parent confidence is going to be key. I'm a mom of a 3-year-old and an 11-year-old. And so that guides my decisions, my processes. I'm using that to develop policies that I need to feel confident enough myself. And I think that with everything that we've put in place, if my daughter's preschool were to open again and the fun bus came out, I would be confident to put my daughter on the fun bus. That has to guide everything that I do. So it's really just about, parent confidence. They're going to have a lot of different choices and a lot of different options, and, to return or not, and to do other things. And we're ready. We're confident. We're strong. We're ready.
Very good. Well, Stacey, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really looking forward to seeing the bus back out on the road and seeing you in person at some of these events that will come up sometime in the near future. Thank you again. I think people will get a lot of benefit out of this.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Mike.
You got it. My pleasure.